Gemini, the twins. Here's your reading for August 15th to the 31st. As a reminder, guys, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Also, remember to watch your sun, moon, and rising sign. And from those videos, or those readings, also take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Put the pieces together and apply it to your unique situation. If you would like to book a private reading, please see the description box where there is a link available and information upon how to obtain a private reading. And also, when you book a private reading, everything in terms of the spreads and the messages will and are guaranteed to resonate with your unique situation. Also, guys, I normally use Skype for my private readings, or I should say for your guys' private readings. I'm also on Facebook as well now, so we can use Facebook Video Messenger as well. It's another option. Also, if you would like to skip the rest of the intro and the shuffling and things of that nature, please see the comments section of this video for a timestamp pinned comment by me, Intuitive Perceptions, with a timestamp there to skip everything in terms of the intro and the shuffling and things like that, to get straight into the reading as to how you come into the reading, the card, okay? Let's go ahead and bless the deck, and then we'll get started. Guardian angels of love and light, ancestors lost and known in the seas of time, please intercede into this reading to provide Gemini with the clarity and direction as to which he or she seeks, and please grant me, the reader, the objectivity to read the cards and relay every single message as they're meant to be. Okay, Gemini, coming to the reading with the Page of Cups in reverse here. Gemini, the twins. Okay, guys, when I see you guys' spreads today, I'm really starting to pick up some major changes need to be made, but they need to be made once you realize, Gemini, what needs to change, to have that, discernment. Coming to the reading with the Page of Cups in reverse, I mean, not wanting to understand the emotion and how it affects your everyday life, and how it also affects what you need and what you want from other people, and also they don't understand what you need and what you want as well. If you don't understand it, you understand what I'm saying? It's just, there's confusion throughout the entire spectrum. If we start over here on this side, I mean, not wanting to walk away from the situation with the Eight of Cups here in reverse. I mean, Gemini, you have to walk away. Just choosing not to. And for whatever reason that is, not really sure in terms of applying it to your situation. When I see the Four of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, this kind of signifies to me that maybe you have maybe become very consumed in your ways of thinking, and you necessarily don't want to see the growth that's possible when we choose to leave the situation because it no longer serves us. Or maybe not necessarily leave, because the Eight of Cups can also signify to me really trying, like being on like the last thread. If the Fool card in reverse wasn't here, or if it was upright, I would say that that's the case here. And you're just becoming tired. But with the Fool card in reverse, pretty much the outcome, and then the situation and the outcome having both somewhat of a stubborn energy, this is just not going anywhere, basically, no? The Knight of Pentacles in reverse can also mean not having appreciation and being someone who is very intractable, someone who says I'm gonna do it like this, and this is how it's gonna be done, and that's that, which is cool. It's fine, you know. That builds character, that builds boundary lines, but it builds them. But does it maintain it? Is the boundary line maybe so strong or so high that maybe you can't even crawl or climb, I should say, over it or behind it? Do you box yourself in? When we tend to do this, Gemini, that's when we miss the opportunities. The Four of Cups here can also signify being bored with the day-to-day mundane activities. But I do pick up, or I'm picking up, that there's some stubborn energy going on here for sure. There's a lot of I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and that's it. Like I said, which is fine, but when you have a family or when you have a lot of people that you're dealing with or that you're responsible for, we can't have that type of mindset, because is it better for everyone? Because if it isn't better for everyone and you're say the breadwinner or something, it's going to cause upheaval in your environment, and therefore it's not going to be good for yourself. No? I mean, also, the Knight of Pentacles can also signify when practical matters in your life are chosen, to be ignored. That's more like recently. This is like the beginning of it in a sense. It's also important to recognize this. You may want to take more time to get your life in order, and maybe less time focusing on small things or things that aren't adding to your stability or things that are not adding to maintaining it. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse is very slow energy. I mean, it's even stubborn energy. So it's just all around stubbornness. And what ends up happening is like I said, we miss that opportunity, man. Like we don't even grant ourselves the opportunity to even, have or see it, let alone seize it. You can't seize it, you don't see it. But I do feel here that there is still an element, Gemini, of trying to hold on. But I can see it's slowly changing. It's on its way in terms of ready to leave and walk away. With the Fool card in reverse here, at the same time, that can signify as well, like, you're not ready yet. But if you're moving in a slow, intractable manner, and you've already made the decision, like, you don't want to walk away, or you feel like you don't really necessarily need to do it now. See what I'm saying? Like, this is someone who decides things on their time. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Deciding when you have had enough, but just sticking around a little bit longer. You're already missing the opportunity by sticking around longer if it doesn't serve you. Might as well take a leap of faith and jump out there, see what could possibly manifest. Queen of Pentacles in reverse here. Oh, you could be dealing with an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. You could be dealing possibly with a Capricorn specifically. When I look at this spread over here, we're stuck in the past. We're stuck in terms of just not wanting to move forward, or we're looking at the past and saying, okay, we're looking at the past and saying, oh my God, how did this happen? I don't know why I'm picking up, I mean, especially with judgment here, I'm picking up like, we're playing the victim a little bit, you know? Now, I'm not saying you caused all of this, and guys also, as a reminder, general reading, you know, these energies or these messages can be either coming from you or to you. But I feel like there's that element of stubbornness again. And also the Queen of Pentacles in reverse can also signify that we become too motherly, or we become too like protective. No, it's not the word I'm looking for. We choose to take everything on ourselves, kind of, and we don't really necessarily allow other people to interject. I mean, given the Knight of Pentacles, I mean, moving slow, and people maybe not want to move as slow as you want to move right now. And this is also making that decision, like, you know, we're going to do it my way. That's it. But look what's going on. But just being stuck in the past, man, like just saying, that's it. Like, and I also feel like that being stuck in the past and dwelling on the past is just causing you to have more anxiety. It's causing you to think more about the gravity of the situation, or think more about, to continue to dwell on the negativity of the past. You need to let it go. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse can also, like I was saying, about smothering people, trying to take care of everything on your own, which is commendable, but at the same time, we have to allow other people to interject, especially when we're in partnerships or relationships, anything. I mean, any kind of ship with someone. That's why I call them general ships, but any kind of ship with anyone is compromise. But this is trying to do it all, and we fail to hear the other person's side, which inevitably leads to judgment. What are you doing? And then with the Devil card in reverse here, normally that's a good card. And you guys know by now, whenever I see the Devil card in reverse, it normally is a good card, or it's a favorable one, I should say. But sometimes I view it, depending upon the surrounding cards, that it's still around. We're just not aware that it's still there. Pieces of it are still lingering, and it's still affecting us in a manner. It's like not choosing to not let go completely of the burden, not letting go of the elements, the person, the situation that controls us, and our actions and our intentions. And I kind of want to go back to the Queen of Pentacles. When I say smothering, guys, I mean like trying to take care of it to the point where you kind of are, maybe you don't allow people to make their mistakes. And when you don't allow people to make their mistakes, you know, I mean, this is kind of a general statement, what I'm about to say, but if we don't allow the people to make their mistakes, when we make ours, or you make your own personal mistakes, do you realize why you made them? Do we take the time to acknowledge how they were made? You know, because we cannot take the other person into consideration in terms of a certain aspect, that usually means that we fail to do that for ourselves. You know, that little tidbit of information. If it resonated, shoot, keep it. Yeah. So I kind of feel like this is what's going on. Like, you're trying to control the issue, which the intention can be somewhat good, but it gets lost in like It's like that. It's like the honeymoon stage of like a relationship or a partnership. You guys want to hang on each other and hold hands. Even when it's all hot, you have sweaty hands, and you guys are like, "Oh my God, I sweat, we're cute." And then eventually, it's like, you're sitting next to this person. You're like, "Can you please back up? Like, can you give me like 5 feet, please? Like, you don't always have to be all over me." And that's kind of when I say smothering, like trying to prevent others from making certain mistakes. But when we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, it can kind of mean, like we're doing that because deep down inside, we're trying to prevent them from making a mistake, and by the same token, preventing us from having to deal with that with them. So it's kind of for our own selfish gain in a sense, And I feel like that's why the Fool card's here. That's why the Eight of Cups is here. It's like not really wanting to leave. Like, I feel like you do feel like you need to, but you're still trying to fix things, and it's the past. Like, I know, and I also feel like you're trying to prevent like existential crisis. Like, the passion's there and the intention's there, but it's just you don't know what the hell you want in a sense. Like, so I feel like you're going back and forth in terms of you kind of want to do what's best for the other person, but at the same time, you just don't understand kind of what you want or have a solidified reason as to why you're going about things or making certain decisions that you're making. But if you're not sure about yourself and what you want, I mean, one, no one else knows what we would want because we're not honest with ourselves in terms of what we want, and like we're trying to deal with our shit, let alone take another person's perspective or stuff it with us and trying to like fuse it to get it. Just even me explaining it sounds like damn gibberish and ridiculousness because it pretty much is. um but I do feel like we need to watch this Devil card. We need to watch what's there, and I feel like what's there is doing things with the motive behind it, but the motive necessarily may not be completely for the other party. And I feel like that's why the Page of Cups is here in reverse, Gemini, because you're going to have to dig deep on this one. You're going to have to see why you feel the need to stay in such of a cycle, miss viable and successful opportunities, and just having this stubborn energy. And it's like moving at your own pace because that's what you want to do. Fine, but then you're failing to have that moment of enlightenment. So like, what are you doing? Like, you're moving slow either way. That's why I'm saying I describe this as intractable. Like, you're like that person kind of like, you carry the essence. Remember, you guys, general reading to or from you. You carry the essence of like when someone says, come on, 2 + 2 is clearly 4, and you're like, well, that's cool, but I think it's 4.5. Like, I can believe what I want. And it's kind of like, yeah, go ahead and believe what you want. It's cool. And then I would answer back if I was the receiving end. I would say, well, that's cool. I mean, but how's that going for you? Because you guys know by now I'm a little bit of a little smart ass, but it's all for your guys' good, and it comes out of love. Okay, let's pull some, well, I guess, advice cards. Because Gemini, I mean, when we do this and we're intractable and we don't even understand what we want, right, and what we require, and choosing not to understand it by doing the things that prevent it, that prevent the quest in terms of understanding it. When we don't do that, or when we do that, I should say, I'm sorry, we are not emotionally fulfilled. And I don't ever believe that we would be emotionally fulfilled completely. It's an intermittency because things change. As we age, as we mature, as we transcend who we are, things are supposed to change. Our needs are supposed to change. Because if they're not changing and they remain stagnant for large amounts of time or large periods, we're not doing what's necessary to transcend our lives. Therefore, we're not learning. The stagnation, that's strange. Look at that. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse as well. So not only do we not really have emotional fulfillment. We also don't have security or material abundance. Because, why, do you ask? Because the people that are involved with us in our environment don't want to hear us out, because we're not even providing for yourself, let alone other people, the emotional stability and emotional abundance. Because, Gemini, you're unsure as to what you want. This is the stem of everything. This is the beginning this is the beginning in terms of taking the action when it's upright to understanding. This is either choosing not to, for whatever reason, maybe he's still lingering, or he, she, it, whatever it is still lingering around. I don't know why I just picked up right here, needing to make up, I don't know, with the 8 of Cups in reverse. That was a little random. But it's okay. It's all right, because when all of this happens and we're sick and tired of being sick and tired, it's great. See, Gemini, it's great. That's when we start over. And that's when we then say, I'm no longer going to allow this to control me. What are we doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? How can we make the situation better? When we reach that point, that's when we get the 10 of Pentacles. That's when things work in our favor. And that's when we reach this point, which is a wonderful card. But, Gemini, we must go through situations as so to get to this point, because it helps you build appreciation for the struggles, but the struggles also help you maintain it and know how to maintain it, so that maintain it so that this wasted time and wasted effort, wasted understanding doesn't happen. Okay, it's very important. But you're never going to get here if you don't understand what goes on here. And I know it's very uncomfortable, Gemini, for you guys sometimes to revisit the past, because sometimes, we can feel like, oh, that may be a waste of time. But then going back to what I said earlier, and how's that going for you? You have to change it up. Come on, Gemini. You're one of the, most intellectual signs. Be a good person, Gemini, all the time, but don't waste your time trying to prove it. But I would rather you waste your time working on it, if that makes kind of sense, than to betray someone that you're not. Okay, let's pull Jesus card, see what he has for you. Okay. If you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove. Matthew 17:20. So, when I see this here, Gemini, even if your faith in your higher power is this big, it's tiny. But it has to start from somewhere, right? Even though it's big or it's very, very small, you can still maintain the hope and look at something and say, we're going to change it. No, we're no longer, like, your faith matters that much because it has hope involved in it. You're going to tell this issue, mountain, remove hence to yonder place. Leave what's going on here. You're telling the mountain or the situation to just bounce out. And it shall be removed, because God's going to take care of it for you. But you have to believe that it will actually happen, because God can't make things work if you don't believe and actually put your trust in Him or in your higher power implicitly. Okay? I think that kind of sums it up, Gemini. Check out Matthew 17. There's going to be something in there for you, I'm pretty sure. I want to look at the bottom of the deck here. I just kind of have Peace be unto you as my Father hath sent me. John 20:21. You deserve peace, but it starts with you, Gemini, and the faith. And that your reading for the 1st to the 15th was choosing faith or fear. When we do the things that prevent us from transforming, and when our court cards in our major arcana are coming up in reverse, that's choosing the fear. But you're not getting anywhere when you choose the fear. It can cause stagnation. It's funny that I say that. Chariot in reverse. It can either cause stagnation, due to the intractability, or it can lead to, a more obstructive path, or lead you down the path, to more disregarded behavior, unscrupulous behavior, because we're choosing to keep it. We're choosing to, do things our way, like the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And how's it going for you, And I feel like that's what the Devil card is, Gemini, this month for you. It's that it's still around. You just have to just kick it out. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with your past. What haven't you coped with yet? What haven't you visited yet? Because Gemini, I know for everyone in general, you haven't visited something yet. You're trying to avoid it. But trying to avoid it, Gemini, look what's going on. And it's preventing you from achieving this, because you deserve it and you can do it. But are you willing to put the work in? All right, Gemini. Hope I helped you guys today or for the remaining of the month. We'll see you either in September or a random video I put out. Deuces, Gemini twins.